Live from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee, this is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, the final show of winter 2018. Spring is almost upon us. I am Dan Kuntz, your host for the next hour. Steve Hare, our news director. Kat in control. Happy Tuesday.
I think. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. If you watched the show yesterday, you know I had a pretty heavy cold. I caught it a week ago, and I fought it off because I bobbed and weaved and fought the cold off, and then on Saturday I woke up.
Got
and
you with the haymaker.
Yeah, it laid me out pretty good. So I had a wonderful weekend with a very heavy cold. It got a little better on Sunday, little better on Monday. I'm almost there. I still got a little bit of that residual stuff. I was thinking about this yesterday. I came in and I did the show, and then I went home because I didn't want to get anybody sick, and quite frankly, I felt like garbage. I have not had a cold in a long time. It's been 3-4 years maybe.
It's catching up. Catching up with you.
Thank goodness my body is a temple. I got to tell you that right now. And then you were gone yesterday. You had some health issues.
A little physical thing there with the hip, but
you're fine.
No worse for wear.
Yeah, that's good.
I just can't do everything that I used to do.
No, you're sometimes.
I never did it very good anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say it wasn't one of your strengths to begin with. 5-star show for you today. First of all, we're almost done with winter. The vernal equinox is about. I don't wear a watch. The vernal equinox is at 9:15 this morning, so in about an hour and what? Do the math. It's 7:02, so in about an hour and 10 minutes, it is goodbye winter and hello spring. The vernal equinox, the beginning of spring, is at 9:15 this morning.
Excellent.
So
it couldn't come
at a better time.
At a better time.
But it's, you know what, let's face it, this was, as winters go, this was kind of just...
Very mild.
It was very mild. It was a weird February. We had record highs and record lows within 2 weeks of each other. That's kind of a strange thing. The big La Nina pattern, which they were expecting, which was essentially we were supposed to repeat this winter, was supposed to be like last winter, which was colder than normal and wetter than normal. That never really panned out.
At least here in the Wenatchee Valley. You know,
yeah, other places got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, places like Spokane to the east of us, they got hammered. And then the mountains are getting a fairly good dose of snow this year.
Over,
it's
I think,
average snowpack.
Over 100%. Not way over 100%, but over 100%. So they had a fairly normal winter.
Yeah, so can't complain.
No, I got no complaints at all. Bring on spring. Now, it's not exactly 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness. We passed that about 10 days ago. We've been on the good side of that ledger for quite a while. But at the equator is when this actually happens. So from this point forward, there'll be more sun north of the equator than south of the equator. It's the first day of autumn for those people south of the equator. I'm glad I don't live there.
We get about the 38th parallel, and we have longer summers and longer winters.
We're getting there. We're getting there. And a good way to start spring. Forecast details are coming up. We're going to be kissing 60 degrees, sunny and mild, and that's going to change. Forecast details are on the way. Got a past report. Sports coming your way. Steve, of course, has your news, the obscure holiday. Today in history, birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNighty's opinion. And we continue our week-long series of talks about the Wenatchee High School bond, the construction bond, which voters in the Wenatchee School District will be voting on April 24th. 2 high school seniors will be joining us today. We got Sebastian Passion and Ashley Turner patiently standing by. They'll be on in the second half of the show to talk about what's it like to go to high school in a overcrowded, out-of-date facility that needs significant renovations and upgrades. We'll talk about that.
And all of this, of course, leading up to our big town hall tomorrow night at the LGI at Wenatchee High School.
7 o'clock. We invite you to tune in and participate. You can show up there in person at the Wenatchee High School LGI. We'll talk about more about that as we get closer to it. You can participate via social media. The program is all lined up and we're ready to go.
We're getting a lot of questions too.
Oh yeah, we're getting a lot. Yeah, you can submit your questions, your concerns, your thoughts, your comments to us here at the NCW Live channel. It's a pretty simple way to go about doing it. We've been getting them. The best way to do it is just email it.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about a limit on stuff. We prefer, you know, that you keep it somewhat short. I mean, you know, regardless of what your opinion may be, pro or con. If you write a big, long dissertation, you know, I read about 4 lines and my eyes start to get a little blurry. So go to our, email us, news@ncwlife.com is the best way to do it, and we'll get it. And absolutely, we will get it. And yeah, tomorrow, 7 o'clock.
Dan's going to be moderating.
I'll be moderating it. So it's a fascinating program. And it'll be live right here on the NCW Live channel. You can watch it you can watch it on a stream, you can watch it on our Facebook page, all that good stuff. So There you go. You ready to go around the valley with the Valley View cameras?
I can't wait.
Here we go. Last day of winter looks like this. Looks a lot like the first day of spring.
It does, doesn't it?
As a matter of fact, there is the beautiful Wenatchee Valley located. That camera, of course, is located right next to the iconic cross at the very tip of
Still a few
Wenatchee
minutes
Heights.
from sunrise.
I spent the last 3 days pretty much inside trying to fight this cold. I don't know. Are the foothills starting to green up, Steve?
They are.
Are they? Okay.
I took a little drive, as a matter of fact, Saturday over the Eastmont Extension. My gosh, what a gorgeous drive that is.
Oh, yeah.
Looking west towards the confluence of the Wenatchee River. Just a beautiful, beautiful, scenic little drive.
By the way, that bridge that they put in a few years ago to extend Eastmont all the way to the Otabashian Bridge, that bridge needs a name.
I think so.
Yeah, it's funny when you drive over it, you don't even know you're on a bridge.
I think they called it the 31st Street Bridge, don't they, or something like that?
It's just, yeah, it needs a name.
Yeah.
It's too cool of a bridge not to have a name. We'll work on that. Camera number 2, what are we looking at? Downtown Wenatchee. So you can actually see the cross camera. It's in the very upper right-hand corner
Yes, you can.
of your screen. So it gives you an idea as we juxtapose that with beautiful downtown Wenatchee. Good to see you on board here. That's from the roof of the Cascadian Hotel. Or actually,
It's a really quiet morning for a Tuesday on the Ave here.
yeah, it's still early. Nothing happens in this town till like noon anyway, as you well know. Camera number 3. And again, Kat, our producer, gets to select. That is,
Butte?
that looks like the Butte. Yeah, it looks like Lower Butte. Yeah, it is Lower Butte. So the 3 fingers that's been in so much in the news is just kind of covered in shadows, but it's down there. You can see the Sunset Marina. You can kind of see Chelan. You can certainly see Lake Chelan. That kind of stands right out at you. Not a cloud in the sky today. Beautiful day today. But again, that is going to change. And finally, camera number 4 brings us to, that's the Waterville camera looking down on beautiful Aniat. Beautiful Aniat. You can see the Aniat International Airport, Steve.
That's right.
You can see the Aniat Dome.
That's right.
I believe you can see the Aniat Hilton standing up there, that big
It's so
thing
clear I
there.
can almost see Brief.
Did you know we're the number 3 rated show in Brief?
This show here.
Yeah,
It's
number
not
3
that bad.
rated morning show in Brief. So good to have you. Ardenvor, thanks for joining us. Aniat, beautiful Brief. It's good to have you on board. Brief is the gateway to recreation.
What do you call people that live in Brief?
Briefers.
Briefs?
Briefs, yes.
Briefs, huh?
Briefs. Jockeys. Little comedy joke there. It's the best I could do. Again, I'm still fighting this cold. 8 minutes after the hour to see your weather forecast from the National Weather
Easy
Service.
for you to say.
Today, of course, first official day of spring, 9:15, the vernal equinox. Mild and dry today, no problems at all. Take the day off and go out and get a little golfing in, or go down to the Riverfront Park and enjoy this beautiful weather, because a fairly vigorous cold front is going to start bringing us some widespread
Rain.
precipitation. It begins tonight as the evening progresses and you're going sleep, sleep, sleep. The clouds are going to thicken up, overnight low of 36 degrees. Partly sunny Wednesday. Wednesday is a true transition. We'll have sunshine in the morning, clouds in the afternoon, high of about 55. Wednesday night, we start talking about rain, Steve. Not a lot. 1/4 inch of rain, maybe about an 80% chance of rain Wednesday night. It's going to rain. The question is how much. Overnight low of about 40. Thursday, rain likely mostly in the morning, and a high of 55, partly cloudy. Thursday night, 33 for the overnight low. This is the cold front we're talking about. So we go from above normal at 59 to below normal Friday of only 50 degrees. Our normal high temperature this time of the year about 56, 57. So it's going to be chilly. We could even say, and I hate to say this, Friday night into Saturday, we could get a snowflake.
No, stop
Yep.
it.
No, look at the graphic. Graphics don't lie.
Ooh.
We could get a snowflake Friday night into Saturday. Saturday, partly sunny, but not real warm, 51 degrees, and then we wrap up the weekend, first weekend of spring, under partly sunny skies and a high near 52. So the best day of the next 7 days, if you like sunny and mild temperatures, is today. And that's about it. 9 minutes after the hour, live here from Studio 7, your past report. Courtesy of the Washington State Department of Transportation. Looks like this. Nothing. Oh, she doesn't have the cameras. Don't worry about it. I'll just tell you. I-90. No problems. No advisories, no restrictions. The roadway, Steve, is...
Boy, that's about as good as I've seen Stevens.
Stevens
Pass
looks
one.
good. That is Stevens Pass. I-90, let me go back real quick. I-90 still Quality Pass, bare and dry. Stevens Pass, Steve, bare and dry. And I blew it. Bare and dry. It looks like those are snowflakes. Those aren't snowflakes. That's just that's an optical illusion. Your forecast for the mountain passes today: sunshine, highs near 40. No precipitation today. Tonight, Wednesday, a little bit of light snow late in the day. Wednesday night, maybe an inch. Best chance of accumulation in the Cascades is going to be on Thursday. We're going to have rain. They're going to have snow, 1 to 3 inches of snow possible on Thursday. Outside of that, that's what it's looking like for precipitation in the mountain passes. Wednesday night and Thursday is your best chance of snow accumulations, and luckily, Wednesday night and the Thursday is not a heavily traveled time period. It's not like a Friday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon.
When does spring break start?
It depends on your school district. I think it's the first full week in April.
Okay.
So I'm guessing April 2nd through the 6th, that week there. You know what else is strange? Kind of a quirk in the calendar. This is really neat. This makes me really excited. March 28th, opening day of the baseball season, earliest ever for all teams. All 30 teams will begin the Major League Baseball season on the same day. This has not happened in 50 years.
Wow.
50 years. March 28th, Thursday, March 28th is the opening day of the baseball season. All 30 teams will be playing, which is a neat thing. I like that.
And Easter Sunday falls on
April Fool's Day. Yeah, April 1st. So really looking forward to next week because baseball gets underway in earnest. And I'm on record as this. You know this. I've been saying this for 8 million years. Opening day of the baseball season should be a national holiday.
I agree.
So
yeah,
that's just me. And the way they're doing it this year.
Nobody works on that day anyway.
What's that?
Nobody works on that day anyway.
I don't.
Yeah.
Nope. I'll be locked in and getting ready to get my baseball Jones in for the beginning of the year. Optimism abounds, except for the Mariners. 12 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Steve Hare has the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this Tuesday, 20th day of March, 2018, live from Studio 2 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for this Tuesday. I'm Steve Hare. Here's what's happening around North Central Washington. First of all, a Kashmir woman involved in an accident back in late February is right now trying to find the Good Samaritan who she says probably saved her life. In fact, Vanessa Ingham, the woman's name, she was traveling south on Highway 97A about 4 miles north of Eniat back on February 22nd when a car plunged down an embankment right into the Columbia River. Became partially submerged in the water after spending the entire night in her car, and with serious injuries, another driver at the scene transported Ingham to Central Washington Hospital. From there, she tells us her harrowing story.
I crashed sometime between 8:30 and 9 p.m. On Thursday night, the 22nd. It was freezing cold, and I don't know, I just decided that, I needed to get out of that car, because nobody could hear me honking the horn and whatnot. I climbed out of the car and up out to the road. Somebody finally stopped. A few people drove past. All I know is the guy's name was Steven, and he was in I believe it was a white truck. And it was 5:15 Friday morning when he stopped and I got into the truck. He insisted that I drink a hot cup of coffee that he said he had just bought to help me to start getting warm. Then he drove me to Central Washington Hospital, and I could have died out there. If he hadn't have picked me up and taken me to the hospital, I probably would have died. I had hypothermia, broken collarbone, clavicle, and I had a severely lacerated forearm. So I definitely would have died if he hadn't have picked me up and taken me in.
Ingham went on to say that after taking her to the hospital, the Good Samaritan, again his name is Steve, drove to Ingham's work in Kashmir to inform them that she was in an accident, had been injured. Ingham is hoping someone in the area knows of a Steve who drives a white pickup truck so he can be identified and properly thanked for his heroic efforts. Also, a Grant County deputy charged with reckless endangerment after accidentally shooting his wife is now back on the job. Back on August 9th, Deputy Jose Rivera accidentally shot his 25-year-old wife, Sydney Rivera, while handling his firearm inside their home off Lakeside Drive. In a press release Monday, Grant County Sheriff Tom Jones said Deputy Rivera fully cooperated with investigators and was convicted of a misdemeanor, which does not prevent him from returning to active duty. Franklin County prosecutor initially filed felony charges against Deputy Rivera following the shooting, but those charges were later amended to a gross misdemeanor of reckless endangerment. Deputy Rivera pled guilty to that charge, and the court sentenced him to deliver 15 public presentations on firearm safety during his off-duty time. School safety was the subject of discussion at a special Wenatchee School Board workshop last night. Meeting was held as a follow-up to last week's listening session at the high school, where residents shared suggestions on how to make the campus more secure. Grant Olson attended last night's meeting. He'll be providing us with a full recap and report on our evening news tonight at 5. Well, this Wednesday night, that's tomorrow, the NCW Life channel will host a town hall at Wenatchee High School to discuss the proposed $120 million bond to repair and improve the high school. This week on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with Dan Kuntz, guests from the district including students, teachers, and administrators will talk logistics and current conditions on campus. In fact, this morning, two high school teachers, or actually yesterday morning, two high school teachers shared their thoughts on working conditions in the classroom.
I think we have to invest in our future. If we're looking at our kids, the ones that we would hope that would be running our community in the future, be leaders, we've got to help provide things for them. And I think when people look at the outside of the school, the structure, they think, oh, it's beautiful. Give me a break. What would we need to do? But I mean, please come in and see what the facilities truly are like inside. It's definitely not what it looks like on the outside. Our entrance is gorgeous, but you come all the way into our classrooms, you'll see it is not as it appears on the outside. But I think we do have to invest in our future. And I know that once my kids are gone, I want to do that. I think that's the great thing about our community. If we can continue to support our schools, I think that we're going to see great leaders emerge.
Now, tomorrow's town hall starts at 7 p.m. at the Wenatchee High School's Large Group Instruction Room, or LGI. It'll also be broadcast live right here on NCW Life and the NCW Live Facebook page. Do you have a specific question about the bond you'd like to ask? Well, so you can submit those questions via email at news@ncwlife.com or directly through our social media on Facebook or Twitter. Questions can also be submitted directly to our Facebook live stream during the broadcast. In other news from Wenatchee School District, they held their school safety forum last night, of course, and we have more on that coming up at 5 p.m. with Grant Olson. Well, Bitcoin mining has been shut down in Chelan County as PUD commissioners on Monday put a stop to processing new electric service applications. PUD board members unanimously opposed the application moratorium after reviewing impacts on utility operations from existing loads and applications for service. General Manager Steve Wright said impacts from cryptocurrency mining applications are hampering responses to the district's overall planned work and threatens the county's electric grid capacity to meet planned growth in the future. Public health and safety concerns due to rogue operators led to the cities of Chelan and Wenatchee acting to curb operations, especially in residential neighborhoods. Also, Representative Van Nieuwhouse joined two others in an urgent request last week to Secretary of Energy Rick Perry, calling for help to pause a court-mandated spill order that's scheduled to begin this April on the Snake and Lower Columbia. Nieuwhouse said the bill could cost Pacific Northwest ratepayers $40 million in increased rates this year alone.
Right now, there is a single federal judge that is forcing additional spill at our dams. That decision overrides a comprehensive biological opinion that was agreed agreed to by scientists and engineers at federal agencies, by Northwest tribes, by local and state governments or regional experts and stakeholders. I've got proposed language alongside with my colleagues, Representatives McMorris Rogers and Herrera Butler, for the appropriations bill for fiscal year 18 to prevent this additional spill. And if we are able to do that, we will save Pacific Northwest ratepayers in just 1 year $40 million in increased utility rates. So as I know you're a strong proponent of renewable hydroelectric power, Mr. Secretary, would you commit to working with me to prevent this forced additional spill, save our dams, which are a vital component to our way of life in the Pacific Northwest?
Short answer, yes.
Yeah.
Quick and to the point. By the way, the 3 House representatives also sent a letter to U.S. Senators Maria Cantwell and Patty Murray, urging them to act on what Newhouse calls a reckless order for forced additional spills from the Lower Snake and Columbia River dams. So that saga continues, Dan. I mean, I've been talking about breaching dams, or at least suggestions to do that, for the past 20 years, it seems like. This doesn't go away.
It doesn't go away, does it not?
No.
The news with Grant Olson comes your way every Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. We got some stories that we're working on for the 5 o'clock news, specifically, of course, as you mentioned, the workshop that they had yesterday involving school safety. The Wenatchee School Board sat down with law enforcement officers and other people to talk about school safety. We'll have a full report on that. You'll have your interview with the Chelan County Commissioners, I believe, today?
That's right. We're going to talk to the commissioners about a number of things. Last week, of course, we had the news breaking about the threats to the 8 Mile Lake, which is up in the Cascades, the Alpine Lakes Wilderness area. And they're really worried about the effects of that Jack Creek fire last summer on that lake up there, and possibly compromising the dam, which was man-made back in the 20s. And so they're have an emergency order right now to get that dam fixed before the spring runoff starts, for sure.
Yeah, the dam is 90 years old, and it has a, it has a lifespan, and it just doesn't last forever.
No.
You got to fix it.
That's right.
Yeah, same deal with Wenatchee High School. 46 years old, needs to be fixing up. That's the second half of the show. 2 Wenatchee High School students, Sebastian Passion and Ashley Turner, will be joining me in the second half of the program to talk about what's it like to be. They're seniors, so they're not going to. If this passes on April 24th, they're not going to be able to reap the benefits of a remodeled and renovated Wenatchee High School. But the class of 2024, class of 2025, class of 2026, they'll be able to benefit from that. Well,
as a full court press, they're sending out everybody to promote this.
It's a big thing. It's a really big thing. If it doesn't pass, then what are they going to do? They just keep cramming kids in there, and they keep just putting up classrooms where classrooms were supposed to be.
There's some good questions that are being asked as well. With student population, there are some interesting questions that people are posing.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow night's town hall. It'll be interesting. At 7 o'clock at the large group instruction room, the LGI at the Wenatchee High School auditorium. I'll be moderating that. So the news with Grant Olson at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. You can watch it on demand. As soon as we get the news produced, we post it on our website at ncwlife.com. And if you have news stories you think we might be interested in, any number of ways to go about doing it. The best way is submit a news tip. Don't play with the soccer ball, Steve. Submit a news tip,
folks, right here,
by going to ncwlife.com. Go to contact us. It drops down and it says submit a news tip. You fill out the form, and we get it. And if we think it's newsworthy, we'll follow it up. But that's just one way. There are any number of ways for people to get a hold of us. Give me the soccer ball, Steve.
I'd like to play with your little soccer ball there. Anyway, contact us on Facebook, Twitter, through private message. You can contact us on at our website. Just press the Contact Us tab there at the top of the page. ncwlife.com. News at ncwlife.com is the preferred way of contacting us by email. And as always, if you see breaking news happening, call us on the hotline at 888-NCWL.
The reason I have the soccer ball out on the set today is we have live soccer tonight.
Oh, boy.
The Wenatchee High School Panthers taking on the West Valley Rams at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl at 7 o'clock. We will be there with our cameras live. And speaking of sports, it is absolutely a must-win for the Wenatchee Wild tonight, Steve. They got to win this one. They got Vernon in town. Of course, they were outscored 10 goals to 2 up in Canada over the weekend. They had the travel. They had the day off. Game 3 and Game 4 tonight and tomorrow at the Town Toyota Center. Tickets for just $10. You can sit anywhere. But if they're going to get back into the series, let's face it, nobody wants to be down 3-0.
No, you don't come back from that very often.
No,
unless
it's pretty
you're the,
rare.
Boston Red Sox.
Yeah. Why'd you bring that up? So we'll have sports, as you might imagine. That's what in the business we call this a tease. Sports is on the way. The obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays, and a brand new edition of Everyone's Entitled to Mike Minotti's Opinion, plus Sebastian and Ashley still to be heard from and to be seen right here on this very program. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live from Studio 5 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
The Arbiter of Stoke is a series that highlights a variety of outdoor adventure sports that are available in the Pacific Northwest. I dedicate my time to enjoying this natural playground. The decision is yours. How will you keep your Stoke?
We know crunch.
And we're back 27 minutes after the hour. Clear skies, 32 degrees. Outside of our studios, we're going to be near 60 today with lots of sunshine. Then we gradually cool down and get a little bit of wet weather between starting, well, essentially Wednesday and lasting into the weekend. But as we mentioned at the start of the show, the spring equinox, the vernal equinox, is at 9:15 this morning. Welcome spring. All right, sports. Les Schwab scoreboard today, and we'll talk about the Washington Huskies and their run in the NIT. The National Invitational Tournament is over. Jordan Ford made a wide-open three-pointer with 45.3 seconds to go, and St. Mary's won his program record 30th game of the season, the final 85-81 over the Huskies. So St. Mary's is in the NIT quarterfinals. Washington freshman Jalen Noel answered with a deep three to pull within 82-79 with 33.5 seconds left, but St. Mary's worked the clock down to 12.8 seconds before Ford sealed it with a couple of free throws. The Huskies finished the season 21-13 under first-year coach Mike Hopkins. Last year, they were 9-22. A nice turnaround. Of course, Mike Hopkins, the men's Pac-12 coach of the year. Congratulations to him. Wenatchee Wild hoping for a big crowd tonight. It is Game 3 of the Interior Division semifinal against Vernon at the Town Toyota Center. Wenatchee trails the best-of-7 series, 2-0. They were swept over the weekend. The puck drops tonight, by the way, at 7:05. During the regular season, the Wild held a 2-1 advantage on home ice against the Vipers. They hope to turn the tables tonight. They were outscored in their first 2 games up in Canada, 10-2. On the prep schedule for today, we'll begin with the beautiful game on the pitch. Boys soccer. Chelan is on the road at Natchez Valley at 4. Manson hosts Liberty Bell at 4:30. Cascade has a game under the lights against Sela at 6:30. And at 7 o'clock, Eastmont will be at Moses Lake, and Wenatchee will be hosting the West Valley Rams. We will have the Panthers and the Rams tonight live on the NCW Life channel. Eric Granstrom climbs into the booth where Matt Wiesen to call the game again, 7 o'clock tonight, live right here on this very television station. There's a small slate of baseball action around the area today. The Wenatchee Panthers will host the Davis Pirates, just one game at Rec Park at 4 o'clock. Royal is at Cascade at 4. Waterville Mansfield plays host to Manson. That gets underway at 4:30. On the softball diamonds today, first to note, the Cashmere at Warden doubleheader that was scheduled for today, that's been bumped to April 17th. In other action, Cascade will host Ephrata. Wenatchee is at Davis. Eastmont will host Eisenhower. All of those games start at 4 o'clock. The Manson at Waterville Mansfield game, that first pitch is at 4:30. Let's play golf. The Wenatchee and Eastmont boys golf team on the road today. The Panthers and the Wildcats get to play the rest of the Big Nine at Apple Tree Golf Course in Yakima. That'll be a good time. 11 o'clock tee time this morning. In tennis, Moses Lake is at Eastmont. Wenatchee is at West Valley, and Antioch will host Cascade at 4 o'clock. The Mariners have some issues during spring training, allowing big innings, and yeah, it happened again yesterday in Mesa. The Angels brought 12 men to the plate in a 7-run fifth inning to drop the Mariners 8-4. The final, Mike Ford 2 for 3 with a home run. Mike Margema 3 for 4 with an RBI for Seattle. The Mariners have the day off today, and they could use it. They host Milwaukee tomorrow in Peoria, and as we mentioned at the start of the program, we are just 9 days away from opening day at Safeco Field. All 30 Major League Baseball teams will play on the same day in just 9 days. Baseball almost here. That's sports. At 31 minutes after the hour, it is the 20th day of March, and it's time for the obscure holiday of the day today. It's not obscure. It's the spring equinox, officially known as the vernal equinox. Spring is almost here. 9:15 this morning is when it officially happens. Fun facts about the spring equinox. Back in the days of Julius Caesar, when he pretty much ran everything, it was always on March 25th because Julius Caesar said it was. March 25th will be the first day of spring. That's all there was to it. Obviously, it's not anymore. It always falls now between about the 19th to the 21st. One of the oldest known traditions for celebrating the spring equinox goes back to a Chinese tradition of balancing raw eggs. In Chinese culture and a lot of other cultures, eggs represented fertility, a new life, a new beginning, which is probably why the Chinese would try to balance a raw egg on their end for good luck. They said if you could actually do that on the spring equinox, then you would have good luck and prosperity all year round. That has led to the modern day myth, and it is a myth that eggs can only be balanced on their end on either the spring equinox or the first day of autumn. The fact is you can do it any day of the year. You just need to practice. A little practice, you can balance on an egg on a sand any time, not just on the equinox, but it takes a lot of practice. Happy spring, everybody in North Central Washington. 32 minutes after the hour, let's do Today in History. I got 3 items to get to today. Happy 164th birthday to the GOP. The Grand Old Party, the Republican Party of the United States, organized in Ripon, Wisconsin, in the local library there on March 20th, 1854. They ran their first presidential candidate 2 years later. No, it wasn't Abe Lincoln. In 1860, they ran Abe Lincoln, which really put the Republican Party on the map. The Republican Party of the United States is 164 years old today, March 20th, 1854. 103 years ago today, March 20th, 1915, Albert Einstein publishes his general theory of relativity. Now, of course, we realize that he was completely wrong. He was completely right. I don't understand that stuff. I just don't. I get it, you know. I mean, I get the basic genesis of the general theory of relativity, but you get past that and I go, oh, I get all glassy-eyed. The general theory of relativity celebrates its 103rd birthday today, as published by Albert Einstein in 1915. And to this date in 1989, 29 years ago today, the beginning of the end for Peter Edward Rose. Peter Ueberroth, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, announces officially on this date in 1989 that Major League Baseball is inquiring into conduct alleging gambling allegations concerning the manager of the Cincinnati Reds, Pete Rose. And it continued, and it continued, and it continued, and we all know what happened. It started on this date officially 29 years ago. Of course, the inquiry had been going on for quite some time, but finally they had to publicly announce that, yeah, something ain't right in the world of Pete Rose, and they made that official on this date in 1989. And finally, 34 minutes after the hour, one birthday today, but it's Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers. Born on this date in 1928, passed away in 2003 at the age of 74. Fun facts about Fred Rogers. He was colorblind. He could not see either reds nor greens. He swam every morning. Good for him. He never smoked. He never drank. He was a vegetarian, but he was a vegetarian on ethical grounds, not religious grounds. He simply said, I won't eat anything that had a mother. Simple enough. His office at WQED in Pittsburgh did not have a desk, just sofas and armchairs, because Fred Rogers thought a desk was too much of a barrier. He was always suspicious of people who worked behind a big desk and you had to sit on one side and they sat on the other. He didn't like that, so he never had a desk. Mr. Rogers, of course, if you ever watch the episodes, and we all should, it's good for adults too, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. He always fed his fish at the end of the episodes. The fish's names, by the way, Fennel and Frida. You probably didn't know that. And my favorite quote from Fred Rogers: "One of the greatest gifts you can give anybody is your honest self. Kids can spot a phony a mile away." And he's right. The legendary Fred Rogers, born in this state in 1928. That's right, he would have been 90 years old today. 35 minutes after the hour, a brand new edition of Everyone is Entitled to Mike Benitez Opinion is coming up. And then two Wenatchee High School seniors, class of 2018, going to talk about what's it like to go through Wenatchee High School during this huge transition period. They'd like to see, I'm pretty sure, renovated and remodeled Wenatchee High School. Sebastian Passion and Ashley Turner in our studio. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Some things are better slow. Internet is not one of them. With local Tel-Fiber internet, slow internet is history. Play movies and videos instantly in HD quality. Video chat without interruption. Download music or photos in seconds. And dominate in gaming with virtually no lag time, no matter how many devices are online. Experience gigabit internet. Call or visit LocalTel online to learn more.
The relationship between the lifetime warranty and our service department is our service department's award-winning, and they keep people's cars running for longer. I've had customers where they were waiting for their car to die, and it just wouldn't die because our service department was able to keep it running.
For longtime customers that are going to maybe have a new driver in the family in the next 4 or 5 years, the lifetime warranty is powerful. You're always going to have protection.
We're here to celebrate every season with award-winning dining, full-service spa, and 170 waterfront guest rooms. Come experience our tradition of hospitality at Campbell's Resort on Lake Chelan.
Collins Fashions has a fabulous selection of clothing, handbags, jewelry, and shoes for all events in your life, such as work, errands, celebration, travels, etc., etc. And our professional caring staff will assist you in coordinating your wardrobe and choose a perfect gift for that special someone. Our many fabulous brands include Joseph Ribkoff, Tribal, Jag Jeans, Tommy Bahama, and we are your Brighton headquarters for North Central Washington. We are grateful for our wonderful customers, and we look forward to seeing you at Collins, where fun and fashion meet in downtown Wenatchee.
Hello, Wenatchee Valley. Christian Chamberlain here with Bay Equity Home Loans.
Make your dream of building your own home a reality today. Bay Equity Home Loans has teamed up with Real Homes to make building your new home a smooth process. Bay Equity Home Loans of Wenatchee offers new construction loans, FHA 3.5% down, and VA 100% construction loans.
Stop on by or give us a call today.
Is this really what we're going to do on our girls' night out? We should go to Club Crow.
The Bar and Grill in Cashmere?
Yeah, let's go.
Looking for a fun-filled, friendly hometown atmosphere? Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is the place to be. Hi, this is Justin. Here at Club Crow, we have full bar and restaurant, live music, a dance floor, pool tables, pull tabs, and live jam sessions the first Sunday of every month. Club Crow in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, the Clinton weapons ban, which began for 10 years running between September 13, 1994, only applied to weapons manufactured after the date of the ban's enactment, and it expired on September 13, 2004. The acts also included a grandfather clause that allowed for the possession and transfer of weapons and ammunition that were lawfully purchased on the date of enactment. Now I mention this because many folks feel that school shootings will be reduced or deterred by a reenactment of this type of weapons ban. Did a ban like this actually have any effect on deterring school shootings that we've experienced? Well, now it depends on what you read. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Hi, Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. When you think of Alpine Air in Wenatchee, think of professional, friendly customer service for all your heating and cooling needs. Alpine Air partners with Carrier, manufacturers of some of the best heating and air conditioning equipment available today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Visit our store in Wenatchee, meet our people, see our shop. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on Local Tel Channel 12. You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life channel.
Ready Medi is healthcare made simple and affordable. We are the only direct primary care practice that provides personalized and holistic healthcare in North Central Washington. Our wellness model not only helps prevent heart attacks and strokes, but we also optimize hormones. Affordability is our goal. For example, hip surgery locally is $45,000, whereas our members have the same access for $15,000. Ready Medi, healthcare made simple and affordable.
How about having majestic mountains, a beautiful shoreline, and 26 acres of lush walking trails be the backdrop of your special event? Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp has cabins, meeting spaces, and a lodge with a kitchen that will accommodate large gatherings. Our staff at Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp will work with you to ensure that your wedding, retreat, class reunion, or birthday is amazing. Reserve your day today.
And we are back on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for this Tuesday, the 20th day of March. I am Dan Kuntz. April 24th is Election Day for voters in the Wenatchee School District. They're going to be asked to approve a construction bond to extensively renovate and remodel a 46-year-old facility, Wenatchee High School, which, as we learned yesterday, looks fantastic on the outside, but the inside needs help. And to talk about that from a student's perspective, we have two seniors from Wenatchee High School joining me. To my immediate left is Ashley Turner, and to my far left is Sebastian Passion. Welcome to the program, kids.
Thank you for having us.
First question out of the box, Ashley, what class are you missing right now?
Nothing, because it's not 8:15 yet.
Okay, so you're actually gonna make it to your 8:15 class.
Yep.
Which is?
AP Human Geography.
AP what?
Human Geography.
Human Geography.
Yeah.
What is that? Like this is your elbow and this is your wrist?
No, it's where people are located and why they're located there and why they
okay.
live there and how they interact with their environment.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's perfect. They didn't have that class when I was in Wenatchee High School. What class are you missing, Sebastian?
AP Literature.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you any good at that class?
Yeah, it's a really fun class. It's taught by Mrs. Simons. It's a really interactive and informative class.
Are you working on any singular one book?
We're about to start The Merchant of Venice.
Oh, so that's big stuff.
Yeah.
That's like an adult portion.
Mm-hmm.
So good for you guys.
Thank you.
Before we get into the meat of this thing, which is what's going on from a classroom perspective and a student perspective at Wenatchee High School, we want to get to know Ashley and Sebastian a little bit. We got some photos of Sebastian we're going to show in just a little bit. We'll start with Ashley. Tell our viewers a little bit about Ashley Turner, your background, where you're going to go to school, all that good stuff.
All right.
Extracurricular activities.
So I've lived in Wenatchee since I was 2 years old, so I've been in the school district for a while. I plan on going to Boise State next year to study education, and I'm a three varsity sport player. So I start fall season with soccer, winter is basketball, and right now I'm playing golf.
Oh, good. Good
So,
for you.
thank you.
And the girls' soccer season, they had a good year this year.
Yeah,
Coach
it was our
you
best
guys did
year.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna miss your teammates?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already kind of kicked in.
I
but-
thought I recognized you from doing the games last fall. That makes sense. A little something about Sebastian.
My name is Sebastian Passion. I'm a senior from Wenatchee High School. I spend my time primarily with extracurriculars such as speech and debate, mock trial, business leadership, and as an ASB officer.
And you don't know where you're going to college quite yet, right?
That has yet to be determined. However, I am excited about the next chapter of my life.
Do you have any ideas? Harvard, Yale, Stanford, MIT?
We'll see. Acceptance letters are still rolling in. I should know within the next 2 weeks as to where I will be going.
Well, I have connections. I can make some calls.
All right, I'd appreciate that.
I went through Stanford.
Really?
It was in the backseat of a patrol car. I don't tell people that. We have a couple of photos. We're going to throw them up just right now. And Sebastian, I want you to tell our viewers what we're looking at.
We are looking at the Wenatchee High School mock trials team with two of our coaches, Judge Leslie Allen, as well as our other coach, Frank Brandt. We really appreciate just the community support, giving us high schoolers an opportunity to learn about the law.
I recognize some people. I see an Apple Blossom Princess in that photo. I see Mr. Chris Danko, who's not afraid to voice his opinion, a true leader in the Wenatchee High School student community. Why are we showing that photo? Because you guys are good, right?
Yes, we are going to the state competition this Friday. We are excited about our team. We have a varsity and a JV team, and we've been practicing. Last night we had a scrimmage with the River Academy, and I'm really excited about our team's chances this year.
Because last year you went to Chicago, that toddle in town, along with Judge Allen. She went along with you, right?
Yes.
And you brought home some hardware, didn't you?
Yes, we did. Through hard work, our Wenatchee team took first place across the nation. It was really great to see our hard work pay off.
Give me an idea of what a mock trial is, Sebastian. Do you have a legal problem or a constitutional issue and you battle it out in a courtroom-like setting?
Yes, so a judge within the state of Washington will write about a 40-page case with a fact pattern that's meant to be able to be argued both prosecution and defense, and each team has to be able to prepare both sides of the case.
Okay. And then you're being judged by?
Attorneys who volunteer to rate both sides.
Do you think maybe law might be a career for you? Because we need more attorneys.
It's definitely a possibility, so we'll see what the future holds.
Okay, cool. All right, let's talk about Wenatchee High School. We got some alarming photos we're going to throw up. We showed these yesterday. You guys are crammed in there like sardines.
Yeah, it's pretty packed in the school.
Is there a couple of specific classes throughout your 4 years at Wenatchee High School that you went, this is just not conducive? I'm not getting anything out of this because I got dripping ceilings and I'm too cold or I'm too hot or it's too loud. Does that happen to either one of you? I mean, I'm sure it must have. Just bugs you?
A lot of the CTE classrooms I think are a little small. Like the photography class, I felt like there were way too many people in a very limited space. And just kind of every classroom at this point, other than the portables. I think some of the portables have enough space, but for the most part, all the classes within the actual building are pretty
I've talked to students who prefer the portables because number one, they're air conditioned and they're heated correctly, and number two, there's enough room.
Yeah.
And there's like a window.
Yeah.
And things like that. But the bottom line is, there's a shot of those portables. Those shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
They just shouldn't be there. They serve a purpose, but anytime you see portables pop up on any campus, be it a high school, middle school, or elementary school, that means that they're out of room. And portables are not cheap. Those things run about, what, 30, 40 grand a pop, maybe even more than that?
Yeah, I believe so.
So, did you have any classes in portables? Or?
Yeah, we had AP Physics in the portables. And it's nice to have a class in the portables because of that space, but in the wintertime you're walking out in 15-degree weather, so that's not the greatest environment.
And just building more portables to alleviate overcrowding is not going to solve. It's not a lot. It's a short-term solution, but not a long-term solution. What do your classmates think about it? As we look at some of the photos of these kids crammed into these classrooms? Here's a perfect example of that. Kids sitting on the floor. There's no desk room. What's going on here? Explain what we're looking at here. Is that all the time?
In some classes, especially underclassmen classes where the size is a bit bigger, kids are very crammed, and kids will be crammed around one table more than should be. And from my experience, it's really not conducive to a learning environment, and it doesn't really help with personal learning and that connection with a one-on-one teacher and student.
Ashley, same question. This is not the way you're supposed to be learning stuff, is it?
No. You can't really escape anyone. You're just stuck in a bundle of people and you can't get away from it.
When you begin your high school career as a freshman, you're kind of stacked with requirements, right? I mean, it's pretty much your first 3 years. These are the courses you have to take in order to get enough credits to graduate. And then as you get deeper into your education in the Wenatchee High School area, you get a little bit more. You can be a little more creative with the classes that you take, correct?
Yes.
Does that play a role? When you get to the time where you got more electives and requirements, does where physically the class is going to take place play a role? I mean, I want to take this class because I think I'd be good at it, and I don't need it to graduate. It's an elective, but it's being held in a sardine can, and that doesn't seem like fun to me. Does that play a role at all?
In certain times, yes, you'll think, I really love this opportunity, but then you think of the environment in which that opportunity is in, and it makes you realize it's not quite the opportunity it could be if there was more space available.
Same question, Ashley.
I personally didn't really have to deal with it. I just kind of picked my classes and said, I want to be in this class. So I've dealt with the repercussions, but my mythology class is actually full completely. They couldn't have taken any more people even if the teacher had wanted to, and there's the minimum amount of seating that we need. So
when you go to classes at Wenatchee High School, again, for the record, I'm a graduate of Wenatchee High School 35 odd years ago. Now there are classrooms where there were not classrooms 35 years ago, and it wasn't designed to put classrooms in. Can you tell that you're sitting in a room that wasn't there 35 years ago, that was just, we got to throw up walls because we're out of room? Is it obvious?
Yeah.
Definitely, because some of the walls don't go all the way up to the ceiling, so if there's someone having a conversation right outside the door, even if the door is closed, you can hear them as if they're right next to you, just because there's only maybe a 15-foot wall put up and it doesn't go quite up to the ceiling.
That's exactly what
exactly
I had to
like
say.
that, yeah. It's, we talked about this yesterday with a couple of teachers, with Mr. Magnus and Ms. Jelsine, who were in there, and they both made the exact same point. When you look at that Wenatchee High School from the outside of the auxiliary gym and a couple of things, it looks pretty much the same as it did in 1972 when it opened. It's when you get to the inside and the guts of it that the part that the general public really doesn't see, that when you realize this building has issues. Is there a specific, if you wanted to prove the point that we need to renovate and work on a new and a remodeled and renovated Wenatchee High School, what's the first classroom you take them into, Sebastian, and say, this is what we have to deal with? The first wing, what would you show the general public they don't get to see?
One of the wings that I think could have room for improvement is the music department. This is an area in which kids can have an outlet and become emotionally invested in their school, and it's pretty run down. You can tell that it has aged just on the floor and the walls in general. It's really not conducive to a self-actualizing environment, as well as the athletic facilities such as the health room, halls by the athletic entrance. You'll see some age in the classrooms.
What do you think, Ashley? What's the one classroom you take them into and say, this is not good?
I would probably just take them to the back English, the part of the English department where the room is that's not supposed to be there, because I actually had a class there my freshman year, and it was really strange hearing all the surrounding classrooms, and it's not good.
Acoustics is a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a significant problem. It's funny you brought up the music department. It's going great guns. You have all the different music entities, not just mariachi, hanachi, but the orchestra and the ensemble and the choirs are just winning awards left and right. And they're dealing with some really bad facilities. Everybody has to share rooms. They've had to put in fake walls for rehearsals that weren't there before. Ramon really wants his own mariachi room, which makes perfect sense. And I did not know this until we did pageant, not only this year, but 2 years ago and even 3 years ago. They're using the hallway between the auditorium and the music department to store instruments. They got closets in the hallways because there's no place to put them.
Definitely.
That jumps out at you. And they're using the auditorium as a classroom. When we went to set up, I walked into the auditorium to do some logistical works, and they're practicing in there because there's no place else to practice.
Yeah, and that has been a problem in the music department.
It has been, hasn't it? Again, we're talking to Sebastian Passion and Ashley Turner. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more about Wenatchee High School, their experiences, and where they go from here. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Tuesday edition on the NCW Life Channel.
How much are you paying for adult, family, or assisted living? Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living offers one-bedroom apartments for one affordable price. Their rates are all-inclusive. No nickel or diming or sudden increases, just one set price. You or your loved one will receive good food and excellent care in a relaxed, home-like environment. Stop on by for a tour to see if the Epladolin family is the right choice for you.
Family owned and operated, Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living in Kashmir. Affordable care.
The all-new Yamaha Wolverine X4 offers 4 times the proven off-road capability, 4 times the comfort, and 4 times the confidence to deliver 4 times the excitement on your next outdoor adventure.
The NCW Live Channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Let's Learn, Guada TV, Street Talk and Other Stuff, the 12th District, Life with Lisa, and the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Live Channel is your local TV station.
Hi, I'm Blair from Works, your workout prescription. Have you ever started an exercise program and struggled to keep it going? So what if I told you that with this MyZone device, I could increase your chances of self-motivated exercise adherence by over 200%. Combine that with an exercise prescription specifically for your level of readiness, we'll increase it even more. And that's our new member success system. It's $99, it's exclusively at Works. It includes your MyZone belt. Works, yourworkoutrx.com.
About 3 minutes left in this program. I am Dan Kuntz alongside Ashley Turner and Sebastian Passion, both seniors at Wenatchee High School. No, they're not missing class right now. They don't have to be there until 8:15. I want your reaction to this right off the top. This is breaking news. A high school in Great Mills, Maryland, locked down after a shooting there this morning. 3 people, including the alleged gunman, injured. Do you feel safe at Wenatchee High School, Sebastian?
Fortunately, we have yet to have an incident in our community. However, just seeing the frequency of these type of incidences across the nation, it's definitely something that has come to my mind, and personally speaking with other students, that comes to theirs as well.
Same question, Ashley. Day to day, you feel safe, right? You know?
Yeah, I'm pretty optimistic. I don't like thinking the worst, especially of the high school that I've been at for 4 years and I've enjoyed thoroughly. So it's very strange to think that it could change, but I do know that there's a lot of public opinion that the high school could be victimized.
We got just a couple of minutes left. This is going to sound like a stupid question because we talked about classrooms. Both of you, same question. Is Wenatchee High School as it is now overcrowded?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just yes, plain and simple.
Yes, I believe the capacity when it was first built was for approximately 1,600 students, and on any given day we have nearly 2,000 students. The hallways are crowded. It's really just, it's not good for forming social relationships or just getting from class to class. I've been late because there's a group of people in the hallway and I cannot get past them just with how many people are in the hallways.
Have you seen the architectural renderings of what a remodeled and renovated Wenatchee High School would look like?
I've seen some segments of it, yes.
A little jealous, because if this happens, you know.
And while it may not directly affect Ashley and I see how it will benefit our community in general in the long term, and that's something that I see does benefit me as well as my family and community.
Ashley, tell the voters in the Wenatchee School District why they should vote yes on April 24th.
Because kids just need the space. They need to be able to learn and learn in a good environment that will cater to their needs, not the needs of everyone else.
Sebastian, same question. You got about 30 seconds to pitch your product.
Ultimately, the students, Ashley and I, and our peers are the foundation of the Wenatchee community, and this is an investment in our youth, and it's a reflection of our community so that our youth can provide for the Wenatchee Valley for the following generations.
It would be nice to have a high school that matches the quality of education that you're getting.
Definitely.
That's basically it in a nutshell, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, I'll let you kids get back to school, all right?
All right.
Thank you.
2 members of the Wenatchee High School class of 1973 will be joining us tomorrow. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.